Hey, how's it going? It's a hot summer evening. Just got off the BTS here at the Asok station, and I'm heading into the Terminal 21 shopping mall. I gotta buy a couple of things and then I'm gonna go in search of food. It's going on, what, 8:30, and it's still some pretty solid traffic. I hear different people on YouTube complaining about the Bangkok traffic, and they always seem to be sitting in a taxi while they're doing it. Just get on the train and get where you're going in less than 10 minutes. Heck, you can cross the city in 25 minutes. And you can find anything you need in these huge malls around Bangkok. There's Victoria's Secret. I see Adidas, Nike. It's all here. It might come at a little bit of a premium compared to the US, but we're a little spoiled in the US. Everything's on sale every time you walk in every store. Here, sales are a little further and farther between. These malls are also super popular with the Thais, not only expats. I mean, 99% of the people I see are Thai. They just come in here when things start to cool down, do their shopping, maybe hit the food court, get a nice 50 baht meal, cool down, and it's right on the train. You'll find all the Western options at any of these malls, your McDonald's, Taco Bell, KFC, but I like the food courts in these malls. I've probably been to every food court in the major malls here in the area, maybe a half dozen of them, and you can just get an amazing meal for less than a couple of bucks. Or you can go to McDonald's and spend 10 bucks. But the old Sizzler here, this isn't the Sizzler like you're used to in California back in the 80s, kind of more cafeteria style food and all you can eat shrimp for 8 bucks. Here, for a little over 20 bucks, you get a nice, it's small, like an 8-ounce Australian grass-fed steak with the salad bar and everything. I hit it maybe every couple of months when I'm in the mood for a steak. There's also a place, and I need to go, I haven't been there since before the pandemic, but I need to go see if it's still downstairs. Down in the basement, I'm up on, I think, the 5th floor, there was a Japanese place right next to, I think it's either a Via Market or a Tops Market, where you would go in there and buy a steak for whatever, 250 baht. And for, I think it was 200 baht, they cooked it, gave you rice, soup, and a beverage. Now, of course, that was years since I've been down there. Maybe it's gone. But there are those kind of options around town. And here's Sunrise Tacos. I won't go out of my way for it, but it's not bad. Not bad Mexican food at all. Way better than Taco Bell. I'm not sure how you pronounce this. Utoya, I've had this a dozen times, mostly through Grab. I don't know if I've ever been in the restaurant, but they're all over Bangkok. It's a pretty good, I'll call it, fast Japanese food option. There's also, it's a little confusing to me, there's plenty of Thai restaurants, and I've ate in 2 or 3 of these, and they're the food court upstairs for a fraction of the cost. It tastes exactly the same to me, but maybe I don't have that sophisticated a palate. So here's the line for the 35 baht spicy salad. These food courts, especially here at Terminal 21, are favorites with expats, tourists, Thais. There's the line to get the coupon book. You just put money on a card. Whatever you want. If you're going to be here a while or you're moving here, yeah, put 500 baht on there. Put it in your wallet because you'll be in here time after time if you live in the area. So it's basically just street food in an indoor, super clean environment. Everything's cooked up fresh in front of you. There's only one place in the middle over here to get drinks. So go over there, get your bottle of water, soda, whatever. Then come over, order your food, hand them the card, and just stand there and wait for it to be made. So there you go, less than 2 bucks with a bottle of water, chicken and rice, and one of the best chicken broths you're ever gonna have. You can even get yourself a smoothie for 20 baht, 25 baht. They have, that's just 2, but they got a whole other side of flavors. That's probably the best 40 baht meal I've had in a while. It was 32 baht for the chicken, 8 baht for a bottle of water, and it was delicious. If you're starving, just get a double portion. But this hit me just fine. Now myself, I normally just keep a card in my wallet. I'm in here often, if not once a week, at least every other week. But if you're just visiting, you can just take the card straight back. There's no charge for the card, and they'll just refund you whatever money you have left on it. You can also get takeaway, any of the food. Normally they'll charge 5 baht for the containers. No big deal. I do it all the time. The Big C grocery store next to me has a smaller food court. There's just maybe, I don't know, 10 or 12 options, but there's 2 or 3 that are favorites of mine. Oftentimes I'll grab a meal and get a second meal to go, takeaway. And I'm even in the habit of heading over there with my own Tupperware, because they put the soups and everything in these little bags. They rubber band it up, but I'm always afraid it's just gonna splash all over my groceries. So I got my case protector on. I'm good to go. Another really good place is the MBK Mall, the old mall at the National Stadium. Exit kind of across the street from the Siam Paragon Mall. It's like the original Bangkok Mall from the 80s, but today it's just full of repair shops, and that's the place to go to get chargers for your phone. All that kind of thing are going to be a fraction of the cost of these other fancier malls. And upstairs they have a really nice movie theater. I think they even have an IMAX screen. I've said it in other videos, but you have to be careful. If you're just going to the movies, you want to just see a normal screen, be careful you don't pick the screen that's in IMAX or 8K or whatever the latest thing is, because it might cost 600 baht a ticket compared to 200 baht. After 9 p.m. and you can see the crowds are still coming and going here at the Terminal 21. I think this time of year especially, it's just way better to go wander around the mall, get a quick bite to eat, than it is to just sit at home and sweat. Another really good option right across from Terminal 21 here on Soi 14 is this place tucked away back here. I'm not sure what it's called, but every time I go there it's packed, and I've ate there 3 or 4 times. Delicious. Just exit on a soak and you can't miss it. Hi. I've had pad thai here 3 times. Really good. And I like this little Soi 14. It's not going to be super cheap, being that you're right in the heart of Bangkok, right near the BTS, but there are several 6-story building options here, and then you have Bencha Kiddie Park right 2 blocks away. Sometimes it's worth paying just a little bit extra for convenience, but I don't know if it's worth paying twice as much as some other parts of town. I think it's called Suda Restaurant. You will have to deal with the heat, but I can't even tell anymore. I mean, it kind of feels cool now at 9:30 at night, but it's probably still close to 80 degrees, if not hotter. Across the street from Terminal 21 is the Sheraton Grand Sukhumvit. Beautiful property. I don't think I've ever stayed there. I never had a ton of Sheraton points. I stayed at the Sheraton Royal Orchid once, years and years ago. I'll stick my head in there. It's a beautiful hotel, and I think they used to have, I'll call it a jazz or blues club. I think it's upstairs where that curtain is, and I'm not sure if it's every day, but at least 3 days a week. It's a beautiful property. I'm not big into dropping $175 a night for hotels. Again, if I can get it for free, yeah, I'm all about the Intercontinental here in Bangkok. But if you do want to treat yourself on a nice vacation, Bangkok's the place to stay in these 4- and 5-star hotels at a fraction of the cost of Paris or Tokyo prices. And it looks like they have a nice dinner buffet going on. And not that far back, Marriott and Sheraton merged. Sheraton used to be a Starwood property. They're now part of the Marriott family, so you can use those Marriott points. And they got the jazz going tonight up here on the 3rd floor. It looks like a beautiful spread, but I'm sure it's also 20 or 30 times more than the meal I just had, and my stomach's full. And this is the entrance to the west and another beautiful property right across from the Argentinian steakhouse, El Gaucho. Traffic's finally starting to thin out. It's about 9:30 p.m. and this is Soi 17, Sukhumvit. I might wander up a block or two. I'm sure I've gone up that Soi in the past, but I don't really remember, and it's super close to BTS's Sok and MRT Sukhumvit. I'm on this sky bridge that goes above Sukhumvit, and I need to go down, and the only way I can get through is the Robinson department store. I remember Robinsons from way back in the day, maybe the 80s they disappeared, but you can still find Robinson here in Thailand, and I just saw them recently in the Philippines. Compared to some of the fancy malls with all the high-end Nike and Adidas, this Robinson seems to be a little bit more discounted. Now I see Adidas and Nike straight ahead, so I might have to eat my words, but just that top floor, there were sale signs everywhere, 50% off, this and that. Sale, 450 baht for shoes. But I'm sure if you want the real deal Nikes, you're still going to pay for it over here. Yeah, as I suspected, the Nikes, the pair I'm wearing, I got at the Nike store for 90 bucks, or maybe even 85. One of those super sales. They had the exact same pair in there for $125. Soi 17. We're just going to go up a block or so. It's pretty dark back there, but maybe I'll get a picture of a couple of buildings. Not a whole lot on 17. It looks like some private residences, maybe a small building right there, but the Robinsons takes up the whole right side, and it looks like it's just going to dead end right there. So let me go down and take a peek. Twin Peaks residence, serviced apartments, and that's it. That's the end of the Soi here, but it does splinter off to the right here and ends up, I'm gonna guess, on Soi 19, and I believe Charlie Brown's Mexican is right here. I came at it from the other direction, so I'm a little turned around, but we'll go take a peek. Oh, I did miss the 4 Points by Sheraton, Bangkok, Sukhumvit 15, so this is the backside. Starts on 15, ends here on Soi 17, but there's a gate to run yourself over to the BTS or over here to these restaurants. I see an I check in, and I hope I have my bearings straight, and that's Charlie Brown's up there, but we'll find out in a second. Yes, I was correct. Right next to the I check in, just looks like a basic hotel. I've seen it affordably on Agoda or hotels.com. Is Charlie Brown's Mexican food. You might remember it from Soi 11 back in the day. It's not super cheap, but it's pretty darn good. I'll put it right up there for authentic Mexican food. So if you want to get Charlie Brown's, that's Soi 19, Sukhumvit 19, right over by where that Argentinian steakhouse is. Just walk up, not even a half a block, and it's right here. And across the way is Korean food, Han Kuk Kwan. And right off of Soi 19 is the Key, Bangkok. Just a small hotel, but you might get a heck of a deal. Just be careful with some of these smaller places. This one here obviously has windows, but a lot of the more affordable places that are tucked in between buildings, if you opt for whatever, the $42 room as opposed to the $68 room, it may or may not have a window. So that might be a little weird. And right across from the Key is the Sibco Asok, another small hotel, yet this Soi 19, you can't really get much more convenient than that. You're not even one block to Terminal 21, the BTS train, the MRT subway. Very, very central location. Here's a fancier massage place. And as you're coming up from Sukhumvit, there is a sign for the Key and Charlie Brown's. They're just right there. You can see them. They're a little tucked away, but it's not that complicated. This is Soi 19 with Sukhumvit, not even 1 block away. I did a video walking all the way to the end of Soi 19. I forget what the international school is at the very end, and then there's some government buildings. In fact, I got chased away like, hey, you know, no filming down here. They were polite about it and all, but there must be a government building down there they didn't necessarily want filmed. So check out my video on Soi 19 if you want to see all the way to the end. But it's really right here, just a lot of massage places, some different Japanese restaurants and karaoke places. There is, yeah, we're on 19. There is a English pub. Well, maybe I'll walk down there. I think it's either a block and a half or 2 blocks on the left side. It was actually on the block I was standing on. I don't know if you can read it in the dark. It's the Black Swan. And they have happy hour until 8 p.m., 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Pints of Heineken, Tiger, Acai for $130. That's a good price for a pint here in Bangkok anyhow. Now, I don't know if this is Sasha's hotel with a GG restaurant down below. I think that's what's going on. I've seen a couple of other GGs around town, up in Phrom Phong where Sing Sing nightclub is. I think that's also a GG. Here's the SQ Boutique Hotel. Once again, very close to the trains in Sukhumvit. And Water Pro looks like a dive shop. There's some beautiful architecture here in Bangkok. If that's your thing, I appreciate some of these nice looking buildings, even though I don't know anything about architecture. All right, that's a crazy little like 2-stroke moped. I just walked past 4 ladies sitting in chairs on the street trying to get you into their massage place. That's fine, but there's going to be more offered than massage when the ladies are sitting out front. A regular massage place, if that's what you're looking for, or you're going with your partner, is going to be behind closed doors. It's just going to be legit. There's a counter. You tell them what kind of massage you want. I see 350 baht for 60 minutes of Thai massage. So that's less than $10. You're not going to pick your masseuse like this guy. He's just sitting there waiting. She'll come out, and oftentimes they'll appreciate if you take a quick rinse, a quick shower, and then off you go to your massage. These other ladies, and again, I don't want to generalize 100% whatever, but playing the odds, if they're sitting outside trying to entice you into their place, they don't want to give you a massage. And it's not always the case. Some of the legitimate massage places, they might be sitting out front just because it's hot, you know, and they're bored. But if they're sitting out front in kind of skimpy outfits, that kind of thing, it's not too tricky to figure out the difference. And they might be right next door to one another. And I've walked by here 100 times and I never noticed. This says the Grace Baptist Church, right almost attached to the El Gaucho Steakhouse here on Sukhumvit 19. And here's the El Gaucho for special occasions, or you don't mind spending 70, 80, 100 bucks on a steak. This is one of the places to come. You're going to get delicious, delicious meat, and it's not going to cost anything near a U.S. steakhouse, but it's still going to come at a pretty hefty price. One of the pro tips is if you're more about the meat than you are coming out to dinner at 9:30 p.m., I've walked by many times where they have some pretty good lunch specials. And off the top of my head, just a small steak, like a 10-ounce, whatever. And it's not that much, like 40 bucks or something. And there's the Robinsons. We made the circle. So here is the Asok Station in Terminal 21. I went up on the walking bridge, went down into the Robinson, down Soi 17, up that little alley, I'm not sure what it's called, where Charlie Brown's is, and then popped out here on Soi 19, and we're back on Sukhumvit. And it's starting to sprinkle. It feels great. The only problem is a sprinkle can turn into an inch of rain real quick. So I'm gonna think about my next move here, possibly some shelter. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in these looks around Bangkok, I'd appreciate it if you considered subscribing. maybe giving me a thumbs up on a video you like. That'll help me a lot. Hey, have a great evening.